Welcome, St. Mary's University class of 2024. My name is William Berman, and I serve as the interim provost and vice president of academic affairs. As the chief academic officer of the university, I work to support the deans who lead your academic programs and the faculty who teach your courses and support your research. Today, I am honored to serve as the Master of Ceremonies for our academic convocation. This important ceremony began nearly 20 years ago and has become one of our enduring traditions. Through it, we mark your official entrance into our community. We pledge our support to your success, and we invite you to commit to rigorous study and thoughtful participation in our many campus activities and programs. During today's ceremony, you will notice that most of us appear in academic regalia, symbolizing our successful completion of our academic degrees. Each of you will soon join us in wearing the cap, gown, and stole when we celebrate your graduation at commencement exercises in the very near future. We challenge you to imagine your own personal growth and academic success as you work toward that day. St. Mary's has played a fundamental role in my own personal journey. I received an outstanding education when I graduated with a master's degree in theology. The professors I met here inspired me to pursue a doctorate in religious studies, a decision that opened an entirely new future for me. I met my wife on campus over 20 years ago. Little did I know then that I would return someday to be a faculty member. My family attends Mass on campus. Here, my daughters learned to swim when they were children and to be lifeguards as teenagers. The 5K run for the neighborhood, the annual lighting of the Christmas tree, and the celebration of the Easter Vigil Mass have all become important traditions for our family. St. Mary's has changed the trajectory of my life, and because of the opportunities I have found here, I live each day with a grateful heart and a renewed commitment to my work and to our community. I invite you to participate, to find your way, and to be transformed, to remain yourself while becoming the person you wish to be. The beginning of your St. Mary's education will look different from any class that has come before you. Our campus, like those across the country, is living with the realities of the coronavirus. And while doing so, we are keeping your health and well-being at the forefront of the decisions we make. One of our core values at St. Mary's is to educate for adaptation and change. We ask that you remain flexible, creative, and open to change. You can be certain that we will make our way together and that the many members of our campus community are here to support you. The start of our academic year, which we celebrate today, is a time for excitement. Let's embrace this new beginning and look forward to all our future success. This morning, you will hear from several members of our St. Mary's University community. First to speak will be Thomas M. Mengler, the 13th president of the university, who began his tenure here in 2012. Next will be Dr. Stephanie Ward, interim dean of the Greehey School of Business. She will share with you her insights and words of encouragement as you start your college career. Dr. Ward, a marketing professor, joined the St. Mary's family in 2004 and is an excellent teacher and a deeply respected member of the faculty. Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Tom Mengler, president of St. Mary's University.
Good afternoon. I'm pleased to join Provost Berman in welcoming you to academic convocation at St. Mary's University. I'm delighted that you've chosen to continue your personal journey here at St. Mary's University among your many options. Our excellent faculty and staff are here to assist you in helping you along your journey to achieve your goals as a student and to discern the purpose to which God is calling you. As Provost Berman has just expressed to you, St. Mary's is a special place. It's first and foremost a community of care and support, of respect and welcome. Those of us who have been here for a few years or more do not take for granted the importance of St. Mary's community in our lives. By that I mean preserving the spirit of family takes work, not grueling, unpleasant work, quite the contrary. But sustaining our community requires the shared commitment of each St. Mary's man and woman to take care of others. This fall semester, during this extraordinary COVID-19 pandemic, St. Mary's will need each and every one of us to mask up and socially distance yourself from your neighbors, to take Protect St. Mary's pledge, to sign it, and to post it in a prominent location. Maybe on the door to your room or on the wall in a room where you study. Posting it will remind you and me, everyone, that with gratitude for St. Mary's dedication to community and family spirit, each of us pledges to do my part and to take the necessary steps to keep myself, my own family and friends, my university, and the city of San Antonio safe and healthy. As a family cares for its own, St. Mary's University community cares for each other. Then in closing, as you reflect on your commitment to support St. Mary's during this pandemic, I would also ask you to remember that one decision, one small gesture, one comment can transform a life. Each of us can point to a defining moment, a conversation, a class, a friendship, a little moment when one degree of change made all the difference in the profession we chose to pursue or in our personal lives, in strengthening our values, in deepening our faith. At St. Mary's University, this seemingly small moment can start with one professor sharing wisdom, one friend lending a hand, one mission guiding our actions, and ultimately one family, this Marianist community, supporting each other every step of the way. The great Marianist sister, Mother Adele, wrote a long time ago, and it still bears mention. Let us not be discouraged, for we can do everything with the help of the grace with which will always be there if we're faithful. Thank you. God bless you and your families. I wish you the best year, and God bless St. Mary's University.
Welcome, class of 2024 and new transfer students. What a wild ride it has been to get here, but we are so glad you decided to join the Rattler family. For many of you, this has been a time of sacrifice, possible loss, and broken expectations. As Eleanor Roosevelt would say if she were here, these are no ordinary times. You thought you were going to walk across the stage for high school graduation, come onto campus for orientation, have that last summer of freedom, or whatever plans you had to signify your rite of passage from high school to college. Even though none of those things happened for you, I want to challenge you to change your thinking from everything you missed to this. You were the first generation to enter college in a pandemic and a social evolution. No other generation you know can say that. Do you know how special that makes you? Only you are on this path. Only you have this opportunity. Only you can live out your dreams in this way. My question to you is, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to find ways to eradicate COVID-19? Are you going to show us what it means to be truly inclusive? Are you going to solve economic distress for small businesses? Are you going to become the role model for your family, your community, your world? You have the opportunity of a lifetime. As Randy Pausch said, we cannot change the cards we are dealt, just how we play the hand. What hand are you going to play for yourself and others? During these times of change, we have the opportunity to refocus and be intentional in how we care for our community, our families, and ourselves. Our Marianist values call us to live in family spirit, to adapt and change, to serve others, and to live justly, all in the name of the common good. When I came to St. Mary's 15 years ago, yes, doing the math, that means you were like 3 then, I felt the Marianist charism immediately. I hope that when you arrive on campus, if you haven't already, that you will feel it too. You will feel the care that lives here. It might not be the same for everyone, but you can feel it if you want to. Our Marianist heritage, founded by Blessed Father Chaminade, teaches us how to persevere through hard times to help those less fortunate. By coming to St. Mary's, you have shown that you want to live your life with the Marianist mission in mind. You may not be Catholic. That's okay, I'm not. But the Marianists invite all to the table. Every one of us has a seat at that table to learn, to think, to care. Let me share with you what I've experienced while sitting at the table. Even though I'm in the business school, I have been involved in deep conversations with faculty all across campus on the Catholic intellectual tradition. I have volunteered at the food bank and worked on entrepreneurial projects with students of many different majors. When I started Ride for Reading in San Antonio, many faculty, staff, students, and alumni donated used books or rode their bikes to a school book delivery. I have found acceptance for my passions. I've been encouraged to explore my faith. I've been challenged to think more deeply. While these are only a few examples that I have experienced in my years here, I know that you will also have numerous opportunities during your future at St. Mary's. Who knows? Maybe we will be serving side by side during a Continuing the Heritage Service Day in the near future. We can hope, right? What I hope you are hearing from me is that St. Mary's is a place where you can be embraced for all of your wonderful, unique qualities. As Dolly Parton says, find out who you are and do it on purpose. That is what I want you to do while you're here. You don't have to know the answer yet, but be willing to start that journey for yourself. For you, that journey starts during a time like no other. The Dalai Lama said, "Time's always moving on. Nothing can stop it. We can't change the past, but we can still learn from it. And we can share the future, creating a more peaceful era by adopting a realistic approach, recognizing that the more compassionate you are, the more you'll find inner peace. As the old saying goes, he who does not know his past has no future." In John 13:7, Jesus says, "You do not know what I'm doing right now, but later you will understand." We don't know why a pandemic is happening right now, but we do know why our country is in a social evolution. It is because we keep ignoring our past, our history, in the hope that we as a country won't have to face the truth. And that truth is that we do not live in a just and equal society. Just as the Dalai Lama pointed out, we have chosen to not learn from our past. Therefore, our future is in jeopardy. In Luke chapter 15, we read about the parable of the lost sheep, which is the story of the shepherd who has watch over a flock of 100 sheep. He chooses to leave his 99 sheep, who are safe and well-fed and comfortable, to find the one that is alone and in danger. Many people ask, why would a shepherd leave his own comforts and the majority of his flock to save only one sheep? But I ask you, isn't the one just as important as the 99? Isn't it time for all of us to quit ignoring our past so that we can change our future? For too long, silence has been the norm. That is not what God calls us to do. You cannot care for the common good if you are silently accepting social injustice. Be the shepherd who is willing to leave the comfort and safety afforded him and go find the one who needs hope and equity and justice. Edith Warren said, there are two ways to spread the light. Be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. Which one are you going to be? It doesn't matter which one you choose. Neither one is silent. And I implore you to find your voice and use it. Use it to say what is right and what is just and what is good. Use it to fight for those who need help. But also listen. Listen to other voices and let them challenge you. Hear the faculty when they tell you you can do better. Hear your peers when they tell you you are not alone. Hear the world when it is begging you to be a difference. Arthur Ashe said, "From what we get, we can make a living. What we give, however, makes a life." What are you willing to give? Today, you can start making the life you want for yourself, and your new St. Mary's community is here to help. You will be challenged by our liberal arts core in the classes in your major. You will be asked to build bridges across disciplines. Begin to educate yourself by learning from leaders of our past and present so that you can create a more compassionate future. Learn how to create equity from Harriet Tubman, Cesar Chavez, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Learn how to build unity from John Lewis, Mahatma Gandhi, and Nelson Mandela. Learn how to build social enterprise from Muhammad Yunus, Blake McCoskey, or Shiza Shahid. Become educated about how those leaders found ways to make the change that was needed. You know, B.B. King said, "The beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you." These are the adventures that await you. How are you going to learn? What are you going to do with your knowledge? I want to leave you with one more thought. Personally, I love riding my bicycle. It's the best thing ever. It gives me inner peace, freedom to see my community in a different way, and time to think. And I really enjoy when I'm able to ride my bike to and from work. And a biking credo that I use as a daily guide goes like this. Life is like riding a bike, so you must find your balance, be aware of your surroundings, decide where you want to go, stay focused on your path with your chin up, know when to accelerate and when to brake, be prepared to fall and skin your knees, knowing that all you have to do is just get up again and keep going. And at the end of your trip, celebrate. I think this is completely applicable to where we are today. We need to be aware and intentionally engaged if we are going to keep moving forward. We need to grab onto the wonders of this time. Yes, it's not what we expected, but it is a great opportunity to pedal yourself to greatness, to move forward with love and kindness, and to change social norms for the better of the common good. As Albert Einstein said, strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. I ask you, what kind of shepherd are you going to be? Are you going to be the one that just sits in the fields, or are you going to be the one that goes and finds the one? You are the class that will propel us forward from a time of unexpected disruptions into a future of promise, light, and goodness. What an opportunity. What are you going to do with it? We can't wait to see what you're going to make of this future that begins right now, today, as the newest members of our Rattler family. We are so glad that you chose a seat at the merriest table with us.
Thank you, President Mengler and Dean Ward. I am confident our new students will find inspiration and encouragement in the thoughts you have shared with us today. Now, allow me to introduce to you the Student Government Association President, Byron Martinez, duly elected by his peers to represent the student body. He's a junior from El Paso, majoring in communication studies. Byron will lead you in reciting the student's statement of intent, pledged by each class to uphold your responsibilities as a member of the St. Mary's University community. Our final speaker is the Reverend Timothy Eden, member of the Society of Mary. He serves as the university's rector and vice president for mission, and he will bestow upon you a final blessing. Finally, we will close our program with the singing of the Alma Mater, performed by Spring 2020 graduates. Now, here's your student government president, Byron Martinez. Please join him in reciting the student's statement of intent as the words appear on your screen.
Hello, Rattlers. Please join me in saying the statement of intent. We begin this new journey at St. Mary's University in solidarity with one another and with anticipation and great expectations. We acknowledge that our gifts are to be used to contribute to the welfare of others. We commit ourselves to learn through the St. Mary's family and to respect the dignity of every person. We commit ourselves to developing in faith and living a life of charity and justice. Together, we stand committed to building communities of hope, love, and respect. As students of this university committed to the honor code, we strive for the maximum degree of integrity, honesty, and ethics in our academic lives and encourage all members of the community to act in the same manner.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to add my welcome to all of you, this incoming class of St. Mary's University, to President Mengler's and to the student government presidents, welcome as well. It is a joy to have you join the St. Mary's community. This is not news to anyone. If this were a normal year, with the normal convocation opening the school year, I'd begin by praying for God's blessing for all of the members of this new class of St. Mary's. We pray for a successful school year, and maybe we'd pray with a word of thanks for those who have made it possible for you to be here this year. But of course, this is not a normal year, and it's not a normal convocation. This year, all of us, you and I and all of us here at St. Mary's, live under the threat of coronavirus. This year, we all live under the threat of illness for ourselves and the terrible possibility of the loss of people we love. So this is not a normal year. The threat to all of us this year is intensely personal, and we need to understand that. It requires of all of us that we pay careful, close, personal attention, not only to ourselves, but to the welfare of all of those around us. We will get through this year taking personal responsibility for ourselves and for the welfare of the entire St. Mary's University community. This year, a mask is not just a mask. This year, wearing a mask is a commitment to the well-being of others. This year, social distancing is not just 6 feet of distance. This year, social distancing is a commitment to the safety of all of those around us. So with that in mind, with that responsibility in mind, let us pray for each other. Almighty God, we come together today in your name, beginning a new year, a year of new beginnings for those entering St. Mary's for the first time. From many corners of our state, our country, and even from those from beyond our borders, these men and women have chosen to join our community. We welcome them all, new members of the St. Mary's family, students and parents, and we welcome them with gratitude that they have chosen to be with us. We pray, O Lord, that you will bless us all in this new year with the gift of wisdom and understanding, patience, compassion for each other, and the gift of safety. May your Spirit guide us and inspire us always to seek your will and to seek the common good. And beyond ourselves, keep us always mindful of our world and the needs of your people. Give us always the ability to see beyond ourselves and our needs. Remain with us today and throughout this year, O Lord. Help us to embrace and to live your call to service and to community. And we ask this as your sons and daughters in Jesus' name. Amen.
Love.